Hello, I'm Thomas Reiner, the Lean Farmer, and welcome to another short video. So if you have a farm or a homestead or maybe even just some small critters in the backyard, one of the questions that you hear a lot is, should I get a guardian dog? And so this video today is going to touch on a little bit about guardian dogs and what you might want to get or might not want to get from a guardian dog perspective. So when we started our farm, we had lots of chickens, that's all relative, but we had up to 100 chickens, and we had goats and calves, and we've had piglets, and for the longest time we did not have a guardian dog. And then we started losing chickens, and we like to let our chickens free range, and they were even up around our house, and we started losing them. And one evening we lost up to 20 different chickens that we had when a pack of coyotes came through and wiped them out. And so that's what kind of set us on the path to figuring out whether or not we really wanted to get a guardian dog. Because anytime you get a dog, it's a big decision, and guardian dog is even a little bit more of a big decision because they're not like your normal dog. They're a farm animal, they're a working animal, and you really need to think hard before you go get a guardian dog. Just because you have a lot of small animals, though, doesn't mean that you necessarily need a guardian dog. And I did not plan this, but you can see they do really well with small critters, including cat. So I would say it really depends on where you're at and how many small critters you have. When we were having hundreds of chickens and we were selling eggs and all that kind of stuff, we had a lot of money tied up into our chickens, and so it was well worth the investment to get a guardian dog. So that is probably the biggest decision you should make there on whether or not you should get a guardian dog. Some other factors to keep in mind are guardian dogs like to roam. So at night when you're sleeping, they're out roaming, they're out patrolling around, and they need a lot of space. So if you're like in a subdivision and you have just some chickens, guardian dog's probably not the best thing for you because you're not going to have the space for them. The other thing with a guardian dog is they are very protective. So if you have a lot of different strangers showing up at your place, you should really think hard about getting a guardian dog because they're not used to those strangers. Now, we've had plenty of people come up here and our dog does fine with them, but it's definitely something you should keep in mind if you're gonna get a guardian dog is how many people do you have show up at your farm and the frequency. The other thing that you should think about is if you have, maybe you might live in the middle of nowhere, but you have one neighbor and they live close by. Guardian dogs bark a lot. They are constantly patrolling at night, and when they see or hear a coyote or a fox or some other predator, they're gonna sound off and let that predator know where they're at and kind of marking their territory. So if you've got a neighbor that's close by and they're not gonna like barking, guardian dog's probably not for you because they will bark constantly. If you got a lot of animals, you hear that bark, and that's a reassuring, warm feeling to you that the guardian dog's doing their job. But if you've got a neighbor, they might not like that so much. So to sum it up, if you got lots of small animals that need protection because you got a lot of predators, I would definitely think hard about getting a guardian dog. If you got a lot of visitors, think about that one a little bit. If you got close neighbors, think about that a little bit. And then just make sure you have the space for them to roam. So just a few thoughts for you on whether or not you should get a guardian dog. I'll probably put out some more videos about guardian dogs and some of their good traits and some of the things you need to watch out for, and keep an eye out for those. Thanks again for watching another small video, and if you like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.